Hey, what's going on? We're back. Now, before we get started, I have bad news and I have good news. So the bad news is, obviously, you're stuck listening to my ugly face. Just kidding. You know I'm one of a kind. But the good news is, the reason why you have to see my face is because there is amazing, and I mean amazing, fights this weekend. UFC 238, that's fine, it costs some money. If you can't afford it or you realize it's way overpriced, it's not, then just go to your local bar, get a bunch of your friends, and watch these fights, because mark my words, they're fights you don't want to miss. We're going to start it right off the bat with literally my favorite fight on this card, and probably the 2019 Fight of the Year candidate. We're talking about Donald the Cowboy Cerrone, yeah, going up against El Cucuy, Cerrone Ferguson. Now, Donald Cerrone is continuing this resurgence of this new cowboy ever since he became a father, and he is on a really fast 3-fight win streak, with his latest coming against previous lightweight title contender in Raging Alayaquinta, which went to decision only a month ago. It was Donald Cerrone's tenacity and the pressure that he put on and his versatility with his strikes that he brings every single time that have evidently got him the nod from the judges. Now, the one thing that Cerrone showed in his fight, which he shows in all of his fights, was his steel. He just could not be broken for whatever the case. In previous fights before, we see when he gets rocked, he becomes a little bit different, slows down. You can see a little bit of fear in his eyes, but that didn't happen this time around with Alayaquinta, and nonetheless getting the nod from the judges. Now, when we look at Cerrone Ferguson's record, first of all, this guy should have got a title shot like 5 times now, but because of bad timing, surgeries, evidently it didn't work out. But for the timing, he has agreed, and thankfully he has agreed, to step up to fight Donald Cerrone, because El Cucuy could be waiting for that title shot if he wanted to, stringing a very impressive 11-fight win streak. His last 3 wins are coming off Anthony Pettis, Kevin Lee, and Rafael dos Anjos, 2 of those previous devastating champions. Now, this is a weird fight, and the reason is because I don't really see an area where one is significantly better than the other. In fact, there is none. The only thing that I can say, the one difference might be the fact that the chin of Donald Cerrone is in fact probably a little inferior to the chin of Cerrone Ferguson. So the one thing for Donald Cerrone, the keys to victory, is to not get too emotional. Because when he gets too emotional, sometimes he just swings for the fences, where now, hopefully, which he's proven in the past, but hopefully he continues to do so, is to keep his composure, be more relaxed. Just have confidence in his training camp and his abilities, and keep that spacing, pick your shots. Then when you do land a significant shot that hopefully buckles Cerrone Ferguson, then go in for that kill, whether on the ground or standing up, because like I said, these are areas where Cerrone Ferguson also shines. Cerrone Ferguson's keys to victory here is really put the pressure on, close the distance, and just go wild, similar to the way he did in the Anthony Pettis fight. This, to me, would beat the old Donald Cerrone, but the new Donald Cerrone, I'm not so sure now. He wants to touch that belt before he retires, and I think a very determined Donald Cerrone is one of the, if not the scariest fighter at the lightweight division. Who am I going to call? I think that the new Cerrone can take this fight. I do think it's going to go to decision. If it was 25 minutes, I may not be going this route, but since it's 15 minutes, I believe that Donald Cerrone can keep his composure for that full 15 minutes, use his kickboxing and his spacing, not get caught up to the unorthodox, wild style of El Cucuy, and evidently outpoint El Cucuy and take this to decision. Now we're going to the co-main event, where we talk about the first of 2 title fights. That's right, 2 title fights. Remember when I told you before this card would be worth every penny? I was not lying. No way, Jose. We are talking about former bantamweight title contender in Jessica Eye. She is going up against current strawweight champion Valentina Shevchenko. Good luck, Jessica. And I say good luck in the nicest way possible, because although she's on a 3-fight win streak, who are even these people she's fighting? Kalindra Faria? No clue. Jessica Rose Clark? Yeah, I know her, but is she anybody? Not really. And then, of course, the latest, Kaylin Chookagian, where she won by split decision. Needless to say, the last 3 fights were all by decision, and 2 of them were split. So either or, it could have gone either way. Is that enough to get you a title contender spot? In my opinion, no, but it is a new division. They are really trying to pump this division and give this champion some bait to basically gnaw on, because in my opinion, that's exactly what Valentina's gonna do. Jessica Eye is a great, well-rounded fighter, but does she have anything proprietary to really bring her into this title spot? No. not, in my opinion. No disrespect, Jessica Ai. But her fights when she was on a 4-fight losing streak against Misha Tate, Betch Correa, Sarah McMahon, and Juliana Pena were very, very one-sided. And I just think that fighting 4 big names like that and losing every single one and then coming back and beating 3 mediocre, in my opinion, at least for now, fighters, doesn't really grant you this title shot, especially someone like Valentina. Valentina could very well be the most well-versed technical striker in women's MMA. Nasty kickboxer and very, very durable, in my opinion, probably made of vibranium, especially after those 2 outings with Amanda Nunes, losing by unanimous decision both times. She's fought 50 minutes with the lioness, Amanda. That is absolutely crazy and so unheard of. I just think Valentina Shevchenko is so well-versed, and she has fought these top-tiered opponents literally her whole UFC career. The Jessica Ai, like I said, she doesn't have anything proprietary to really bring to the table to really challenge Valentina Shevchenko for that strap. Valentina Shevchenko is, in my opinion, just going to have to keep that distance and just use her vicious striking. I think she's able to win this on the ground or standing up. But because she loves her striking, I don't think there is anything that Jessica Ai could do to stop that. And I think Jessica Ai is going to go in there and maybe try to grapple Valentina, but Valentina is just so strong. Aesthetically, she's so big. So if I don't have to call this fight, I think Valentina Shevchenko is going to give Jessica Ai a very, very one-sided beating from the beginning of round 1, and I don't think it's going to the end of round 5. I think this fight is literally ending in the 3rd round. I just see Valentina Shevchenko smashing on those legs and that body, and evidently gassing Jessica Ai, taking her to the ground and pounding her until the ref, whoever it may be, pulls Valentina off or tries, because Valentina is just so damn huge. Now when we go to the main event, we have a fight that really wasn't even supposed to happen, but it is anyways. We have Henry Cejudo going up against knockout artist Marlon Moraes. Now, the reason why I say it's not supposed to happen, because originally it was supposed to be TJ Dillishaw defending his 135 belt, as now Cejudo was supposed to climb up and try his chance at becoming the champ. But now, because EPOs were found all over TJ Dillishaw, he got stripped. He said he gave it up, and he was inevitably going to get stripped. Facts are facts. Henry Cejudo is now fighting for the new vacant title and his first chance to become the champ. And he is going up against, like I said, the very heavy-hitted Marlon Moraes. Now, the difference here is obviously Marlon Moraes is used to fighting a 135. He's naturally a little bit bigger of a fighter, longer limbs, and he's used to fighting these bigger dudes, which could be a problem for Henry Cejudo. But Henry Cejudo's boxing, as we saw in Demetrius Johnson outings, is phenomenal. His head movement is ridiculous. He's been working so much on his footwork. It's impeccable in his wrestling. Needless to say, Olympic medalist. No one's stopping him on the ground. So Marlon Moraes, please don't make that a keys to victory for you and your camp, and that's take it to Henry to the ground, because if that's the case, oh my God. But Rafael, minus his minor setback against Rafael Assunção, he's virtually undefeated in the UFC and WSOF organization. He is on a surge, and his knockout power, ask Elijah Sterling, is ridiculous and murderous, if that's even like a thing to say. But of course, Marlon Moraes, being in the high, just took out his only loss in the UFC in the rematch against Rafael Assunção back in February of this year, beating him by submission guillotine choke. So his jiu-jitsu game is also phenomenal. Is he even going to try to use that? No, because I always say that a phenomenal wrestler will negate the abilities of a phenomenal jiu-jitsu practitioner, and that's the case here. We got a phenomenal wrestler against not even a phenomenal jiu-jitsu guy, just a phenomenal, well-rounded mixed martial artist is Merlin. But I think Henry is too tenured. He's been fighting these bigger guys as well as of recently, obviously taking out TJ Dillashaw in such devastating fashion, but it just shows that he is capable of knocking you out too. And I think Marlon Moraes could be on a high, but almost to his demise. He's going to get too excited, come in there prematurely, and just get caught off guard, kind of like TJ Dillashaw did. I think the keys to victory for Marlon Moraes here is to be calm, to keep that distance, and only engage when he is ready to do so and he finds an opening. If he goes in there sloppily, Henry is going to grab him, smash him, maybe even catch him on the way in and knock him out like TJ Dillashaw, and inevitably take you to the ground and beat the living hell out of you, where your jiu-jitsu will not be able to do anything when you're on your back against Henry. Now, Henry's keys to victory, as I kind of gave a foreshadowing there as well, is he's going to have to close that distance, dirty boxing against the cage, really tire Marlon out, because Marlon is not really used to that gritty grappling game that Henry's ready to bring, and Henry's going to take it to the ground, smother him, and inevitably get that decision victory. I just think he's going to land far more superior points than Marlon, and the judges are going to be able to see that, and they're also going to be able to see that because at the end of the 25th minute, I think you're going to see a very fatigued Marlon and a very happy, excited Henry Cejudo. Please make sure to leave a like or dislike, doesn't matter to me. Leave a comment, let me know if you agree or disagree. If you just think I'm a loser or you're sexy, then DM me, maybe we can talk, maybe go for a coffee, whatever you want. Hit the subscribe button if I didn't say it again. Smash the notification bell bell. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode for our Wednesday fight pre-fight analysis, and we are gonna have to see you next week. Seriously, like no, because we're done. All right, peace.